Now, if you have cable TV and it's AT&T, you may know our guest, and maybe you sat in a bar or a booth that he constructed and put together, but now he's a musician. Nick Gusman is in studio, and he's going to be talking to us about his new album that's coming out. Welcome to St. Louis in Tune, and thank you for joining us for fresh perspectives on issues and events with experts, community leaders, and everyday people who make a difference in shaping our society and world. I'm Arnold Stricker, along with co-host Mark Langston, and Mark is on assignment today, and I'm going to have to give him a test from his assignment because he's really missing a great interview today. Before we get into our guest, Nick, I want to read our Return to Civility. At least once a year, donate your unused, good-condition household items to charity. Now, this is something that a lot of people do along the way, especially at the end of the year. They've got a little time between Christmas and New Year's, and they donate. And sometimes if you donate enough, you can actually get some deductions if you're one of those deduction people. Maybe those items will just be what someone else needs, and you'll have a great excuse to go shopping for something new. So at least once a year, donate your unused, good-condition household items to charity. It also helps you clear out things. I know my wife is on me about some of those things. You know, why do you have that? Do we really need that? She doesn't say those things. I say those to myself because she's a really good, she's a minimalist, and I have a little too many things. So I want to start this out by doing this.
Here we go. You can't shortcut the mountain, it's just up or down in Mother Nature. Gotta be lost or found. There's nobody to lean on, there's no go way around. You better watch your steps, don't in a footstool town.
That's a song from the new album, Lifting Heavy Things, with Nick Gusman and the Coyotes. Nick, welcome to St. Louis in Tune.
Hello, good morning. Happy to be here.
When I heard your voice, and I read this after the fact, I thought, you know, kind of Hank Williams Jr. growl a little bit every once in a while. And then I read something that said about, Bob Dylan.
Oh, yeah.
And it's okay, I can get that. You got your own groove and vibe, and that's great.
Cool, yeah, that's what I'm hoping for, you know. Definitely hoping for having that.
Now, this is the third album, is that correct?
This is the third album I've released, yeah. Second with my current band lineup.
Okay, because I thought, didn't you do a solo album?
Yeah, that first one, there was probably 21 musicians that played on there.
Wow.
But it was considered, my first solo album because I didn't have a band when I put it together.
All right, and how did you get the band together?
I got the guys together because I had put that album out, something I had always wanted to do, and finally finished that, and it was about to come out, and I realized that I needed a band to play the release show. And so that's how that started. I ended up reaching out to people that I knew, and it was pretty easy. A guy that I worked with at the time, I was working on Windows and things like that, and he was an older guy. He's about 60-something, and he was like, I'll be your bass player. And I was like, okay.
Really?
There's my bass player. Yeah, Dave Werner. He was a great songwriter, bass player, and he's since passed. But so that was first band member, and then we got the other guys I just knew from around town, and they wanted to be a part of it. They're like, we want to be in your band. And so I was like, that was easy.
Were they playing in other bands at the time?
Yeah, they're all playing in other bands.
And a lot of times they play in multiple groups or just one?
Multiple groups usually.
Yeah.
And we've gone through a couple lineup changes since then, but that was in 2018.
Okay.
We have a lot of the same guys in there. But yeah, we went through a lineup change and whatnot. But the fiddle player, Sean, and the keyboard, just Tony, And Garrett, really, our lead guitarist, has been there for a long time.
Okay.
Yeah.
He's the one that does the Tom Petty
riffs.
Yeah.
Those wild solos. Yeah, he's great. He's top-notch guitar player. I'm really lucky. We are lucky to have him in the band. He's
really enjoyed listening to the album. And by the way, folks, the album comes out tomorrow. This is December.
It comes out
13th. Saturday, the 7th.
Yeah,
okay,
yeah.
so this is December 5th when we're recording this, and it comes out the 7th. And you're going to be playing December 13th at the Old Rock House. That's at 7:30 p.m.
Going to be a great show. I'm so excited for this. Al Holiday, are you familiar with Al Holiday?
I'm not, no.
Oh man, check him out. Check out all his stuff, and he has an amazing band. I mean, I want to say maybe it's like a 8 or 9 piece band or something.
Wow.
With horn section, and it's real hard driving, like roots, soul, rock stuff, funky, and
kind of like Tower Power Group.
Maybe a little, yeah. But he's going to blow us out of the water. I don't know what else to say. But we do our own thing, so that's good. But we're just so lucky to have him agree to do the show with us because he's just great. So we're really excited.
That's cool. And tonight you're headed to Urbana, Illinois. Then Friday you go to Louisville. And then Saturday you're in Madison, Tennessee. So you're doing a mini tour here before the end of the year.
Yeah, we do a lot of these 3-day, 4-day kind of things like that. It's good to... St. Louis is a really good base to be able to do that from. So we'll either go out towards Oklahoma and hit some places on the way out there, or do what we're doing here, or up to Chicago, loop around, something that we have found works good for us.
Now, do you haul all your sound equipment, or do they have sound equipment that's there and you just plug into?
It depends. Most of the time we're playing at a place that has sound equipment, so we don't have to bring that. But we got to bring all of our stuff.
Right.
But not the PA and stuff like that.
Okay. Now, how long have you been doing this? You started out, you brought your grandfather's guitar. I know he loved to play, and he was in a band, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was in numerous bands. They were like country and western bands, and I got pictures of him playing on the radio, and I might pull that out and show you.
Wow.
Really cool. Him in a radio station. They got the outfits on, the old country and western band outfits. Right. Pretty wild to find that out later, because when I first picked up the guitar, I had no idea that any of my family members had been musical at all. But yeah, so I've been playing now for about 20 years.
Yeah, you picked it up late in high school, didn't you?
Relative to some of my peers and stuff, yeah, It was pretty late.
Mm-hmm.
I was like leaving high school just about when I actually got a guitar.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so you started, what was the songwriting process that all of a sudden you had all these ideas in your head or stories in your head, or you wanted your head was going to explode and you needed to write these things down?
I didn't know that existed, honestly, in my, I guess, skill set or whatever. I don't really, because I immediately started writing songs right when I was able to learn chords. Somebody had taught me the song House of the Rising Sun.
Mm-hmm.
And that has, 5 chords in it, 5 or 6 chords, and really essential chords. And once I blew through that song, I loved the song. It really got me hooked on playing guitar. And I learned the words for it. And really right away, I started composing my own songs right away. And I didn't think it was anything weird, but I showed back up to my buddy's house, and I was like, hey, check this out. And he's like, you wrote a song? What are you talking about? I was like, I don't know. It just happened. And so I've just been on that train ever since and just leaning into that.
So would your music teacher and English teacher from high school be surprised at your prolific writing career here?
Yeah, I think so, for sure. I wasn't the shining star at school. They'd be quite surprised.
I want to play the main track from the title song of the album. And the album's called Lifting Heavy Things. Give us a little background on this song and why it's the title song for the album.
It's the title song for the album. We voted on that, and we realized that out of all the songs that are on this album, that song thematically, like lyrically, and the sound of it, everything, it shows mostly who we are and what our sound is. If you maybe choose a different song on the album, it might lean more rock, and then one might lean more almost indie, folky, country stuff. But that one, we feel is really what our sound is.
In your groove.
Yeah, it's a little country, It's a little rock, it's a little folky, it's lyrically a lot there, which is, I love that part of it. And yeah, it just really showcased our sound. But that song came about as I came home from work one day, and I had all my tools. I was dragging them up the stairs. And
was this the AT&T job, or was this the building
this
the
is
booth
post,
job?
Yeah, this is post AT&T's big company work, stuff like that. That was way after this, and I've been working for myself for years now.
Okay.
But I was dragging all my tools up the stairs, and they came loose, and they all fell down the steps just rolled everywhere. And I'm like, I was so pissed, and I was trying to figure out what I was exactly mad about in that moment. And I just yelled out. I was like, I'm so tired of, I cursed, of lifting heavy things. And that was my immediate problem, as I was just lifting too many heavy things, and I was tired of it. And then I laughed a little bit after I said that, and I was like, that's just funny sounding. And then it stuck in my head for
Then you can't get it out of your head, yeah.
And then it turned into that song.
So did the lyrics come first? Did the melody come first? Did it all come together?
I mean, the main line came first, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, let's catch some of this here, okay?
Yippee-ki-yay. Well, I woke up in the middle of the night. It was a bad dream I had. I dreamt I was a baby boy crying for my dad. Just as soon as I learned to walk, they put a hammer in my hand, said, learn to talk, you better keep up quick if you're gonna be a man. So I shook the sleep out of my eyes and walked into the cold. Ran into a hobo, he said if I may be so bold. I said I'm off to work, I ain't got no time. He said, man, that dollar ain't worth a dime when you're getting by on pennies. And then he sang me this old rhyme. Lifting heavy things, lifting heavy things, all day long, every night, even in my dreams. I don't do it because I wanna, but when I do, I sing, yippee-ki-yay, I'm lifting heavy things. So I worked and worked.
I love the yippee-ki-yay.
I had always wanted to put that into a song, a yippee-ki-yay.
And it's the perfect one to do that.
It turned out to be the one that worked. Yeah.
One of the things I really love about your music is, both music and the lyrics, is I listened to some of the stuff last night, and I was when I got up this morning, I was singing some of the songs in my head, and it's amazing how different kinds of music, when it hits you and gets you in a groove, or it gets you in a certain mood. And I didn't even need the lyrics to follow your stuff. Because I can understand exactly what you're saying. Now, that's a great compliment from me, because I'm half deaf anyway. Okay, that's one thing. But secondly, I don't want to have to go to an album cover or whatever and find the lyrics. I know you guys have that on yours, which is great. Folks, I'm holding up his new album, and you open up, it's a big double album, and all the lyrics are there. And that's great, because I remember, I told you beforehand, that back in the day, it was always on the sleeve cover.
I like the same thing. I really enjoyed having the lyrics on the album or in a booklet.
Yeah.
And we've done that with a couple of these.
But I don't need that, because you really enunciate very well.
Yeah, I don't know. I've had people tell me that too, live, even about the live shows. That I don't really know what that is. I guess it's just, I don't know. I can't really explain that. Yeah, sure. I've heard that before, though, that they can hear exactly what I'm saying, because I'm always enunciating so well. I don't know. I guess I just want to make sure that if I'm singing, that people are hearing exactly what words I'm saying.
Yeah, because otherwise it's like, oh, what is the guy saying? And we get these mondegreens, which are, I thought I heard this, but it's actually, these are the words. There's a bathroom on the left. No, that's not what the words were saying at the time.
I think it must be boiled down to really that I find lyrics to be incredibly important. It's what I really enjoy about songwriting. And so it's, when you're watching me, it's not so much about the singing. It's not as much about the singing. It's more about what's the content of the song. That's probably why I lean into enunciating really hard, yeah.
That's good. This is Arnold Stricker with Mark Langston of St. Louis in Tune. We're talking to Nick Gusman of the Nick Gusman and the Coyotes, and you can get more information on them. Go to Nick, it's N-I-C-K, Gusman, G-U-S-M-A-N, and A-N-D, the Coyotes, COYOTES.com, Nick Gusman and the Coyotes.com. They're going to be playing December the 13th at the old Rock House. You can get tickets at bandsintown.com. That's a 7:30 show. Also with Al Holliday and the East Side Rhythm Band will be there. And Nick, do you write for anybody else, or do you write just strictly for yourself?
I don't write for anybody else. I'd love to. If you're listening out there and you want to collaborate, let me know. I'd love to collaborate. Yeah, just writing for us. Yeah.
So how long did it take to get all the songs together for this album?
Didn't take long at all. All those songs we were already playing out. We have a backlog of many songs that we've learned and that we've played out.
Mm-hmm.
And at the time when I was like, we need to put a record together now, let's do this, we gathered the best 10 that we thought we were playing really well at the time. And we went right into the studio at Native Sound Recordings, which is my favorite studio. I've recorded 3 albums there now.
It's down on Cherokee Street.
Mm-hmm.
Why do you like that place? Shameless plug for them.
Yeah, no, I direct everybody to there. It's just so the look and vibe of a place matters to
Absolutely.
me. The look, the vibe, the lighting. Well, we could start there. It's really warm and nice and comfortable, and it feels like a little. And other studios I've been in, they don't all feel like that. So that's a good point. But also the engineers there that I've worked with, David Beeman I've worked with on a lot of things. David and Ben, they both own Native Sound. But David Beeman engineered this last one. He's just so calm and kind, and he's very skillful at the same time. It's always a vibe kill if you go into any studio and you work with an engineer who maybe isn't as patient and whatnot. David Beeman, ultimate patience, really talented, really cool. So it just makes you more creative. So that's why I keep going back there.
So you guys recorded that. How long was the mixing or things like that?
This one was easier than any record I've done because, like I said, we picked the 10 best songs and we thought, we got these down really good now. Let's go into the studio. And we maybe had a couple rehearsals beforehand. And we went in and we cut them all live.
Cool.
So I think it only took us 2 sessions.
That's great.
Maybe 2.5, I think. Yeah, more like 2.5. Because we went right in and we just did live takes. Those are the original vocals, too. We didn't replace anything. So
That's great.
Everything that you hear is straight from us right into the board.
Do you have somebody videotape for YouTube so you can do those live things and then put that on YouTube?
We didn't. We had some photos taken, though. But yeah, so Native sounds great. That's why we keep going back there, and that's how we did this record. We did it live, so it came right out of our instruments into the board and then onto that vinyl.
Wow. Wow. Now, people can go and get your stuff at Bandcamp. They can get it at SoundCloud.
Our website, too, nickgusmanandthecoyotes.com. You can... We've been updating that to try to have everything on there. There's some new merchandise we got. We're revamping it. But right now, the vinyl is on there. You can order that online.
So where'd the Coyotes come from? Is that going to be like a logo on some of your shirts or hats or something like that?
Oh, yeah, it already is. We got hats coming. The hats are really cool. They're like a trucker cap with the sort of naval sort of fringe on here.
Got the eggs on the top there?
Yeah, right here, on the bill.
Right.
And then it says Nick Gusman, the Coyotes, in St. Louis, Missouri, right on the cover there.
So where did the Coyotes come from? Where'd that name come from? Why?
So we had a lead guitarist for a while in the band, Nigel. He's amazing and a best buddy of mine. He lives in Nashville now, and he's doing great. He came up with that one. I think that was him. We were trying to come up with all sorts of names a while back, and he ended up saying the Coyotes, and I was like, that's pretty cool. And we were all like, why the Coyotes? And he's the Coyotes, they're like, they're resilient. They're out there. They're hungry.
They're howling.
People are shooting at them. They're sickly, but they're scrappy, and they get stuff done. And I was like, that's exactly us.
Yeah.
That's us.
That's cool. That's cool. And all the guys, they looked like they're all having fun in the process.
Yeah, we have a lot of fun. That's the key to us doing good together, for sure. We get along. We're going to have a lot of fun this weekend. We don't go out. There's some bands I hear that they travel together and some have big egos or they don't get along or someone's always causing trouble. But in general, we have a great time. We're just best buds. And so I'm looking forward to this coming up trip. Yeah.
That sounds good. We're going to take a quick break, and we're going to go out with one of the songs, and we'll be right back because Nick's going to play some guitar live in studio. And that's Arnold Stricker with Mark Langston of St. Louis in Tune. Don't go away.
When the echoes of last night wake me up at dawn.
Thanks for listening. St. Louis in Tune. On each and every show, we strive to bring you informative, useful, and reflective stories and interviews about current and historic issues and events that involve people, places, and things. Hey, we cover a wide range of content in the arts, crime, education, employment, faith, finance, food, health, history, housing, and humor, justice, and sports, and that's just to name a few. While St. Louis in Tune originates from the Gateway City and covers local topics, we connect to what is going on nationally as well. If you missed any of our previously aired programs of St. Louis in Tune, simply visit stlintune.com. That's stlintune.com. There you'll find every show from our first to our most current. Use the search engine and look for a show that might interest you. And if you have an area that you'd like us to examine deeper, let us know. Just drop us a line at stlintune@gmail.com. That's stlintune@gmail.com. St. Louis in Tune, heard Monday through Friday on the usradionetwork.com and many great stations around the U.S. and, of course, right here in St. Louis. Our website again is stlintune.com. stlintune.com.
This is Arnold Stricker of St. Louis in Tune on behalf of the Dred Scott Heritage Foundation. In 1857, the Dred Scott decision was a major legal event and catalyst that contributed to the Civil War. The decision declared that Dred Scott could not be free because he was not a citizen. The 14th Amendment, also called the Dred Scott Amendment, granted citizenship to all born or naturalized here in our country and was intended to overturn the U.S. Supreme Court decision on July 9, 1868. The Dred Scott Heritage Foundation is requesting a commemorative stamp to be issued from the U.S. Postal Service to recognize and remember the heritage of this amendment by issuing a stamp with the likeness of the man Dred Scott. But we need your support and the support of thousands of people who would like to see this happen. To achieve this goal, we ask you to download, sign, and share the one-page petition with others. To find the petition, please go to dredscottlives.org and click on the Dred Scott Petition Drive on the right side of the page. On behalf of the Dred Scott Heritage Foundation, this has been Arnold Stricker of St. Louis in Tune. Welcome back to St. Louis in Tune. This is Arnold Stricker with Mark Langston. Mark is on assignment, and he will be back for the next show. We have Nick Gusman of Nick Gusman and the Coyotes here in studio, and he has so graciously agreed to play a song from the album here. And it's, Nick, which one are you going to do?
I figure I'm going to do one called Magic 8 Ball and send this one out to Sean, our fiddle player.
Okay, Sean, this is for you.
This is for you, Sean. I started writing this one for him when we were on tour in Germany last year.
Wow. We'll have to talk about the European tour.
It was the year before last, sorry. No warm-up, you guys, so no judging. I just had biscuits and gravy.
Ooh, yeah.
That's all the warm-up I had this morning.
And this isn't the greatest studio in the world.
It's pretty nice. All right, here we go. It seems like a waste to sit and worry about my fate. Could be glory, it could be truth. It could rain right through the roof. Shake my heart, swing it all around. Lift me up, slam me down. Win or lose, just don't let me draw. Magic 8 ball. Well, it gets lonesome all the time, but nothing's empty in my mind. Reaching out and holding on, it don't come easy like the dawn. Shake my heart, swing it all around. Lift me up, slam me down. Win or lose, just don't let me draw. Magic 8 ball. Sitting high up on the wall, might be here to take a fall. Could you put me back together? Oh, one more time. Shake my heart, swing it all around. Lift me up, slam me down. Win or lose, just don't let me draw. Magic 8 ball. Magic 8 ball. Magic.
Wow.
Not bad.
You had the Pistachio Gallery was screaming in the background at the end of that
The
song.
Pistachio Gallery? I
Yeah.
never heard that one before.
Yeah. We left the peanuts behind and we went to the pistachios.
The fancy
Wow, that was
ones.
great, man.
Thank you.
Now you've got, and I watched The Voice, and it's always, man, I love your natural raspiness there that's going on. Then people, they sometimes they put that in there, and you naturally have that.
Yeah, I think so. I don't know if it's
The early morning or
maybe more of the years of abuse.
you're not getting nodes, are you?
I don't know what those are. But
On your vocal cords, it will cause from not warming up or straining your voice.
I don't really mean that. Late nights and
okay.
stuff like that.
Okay.
But I'm down in my time now, I feel like. But yeah, years of that maybe in the past.
Now talk about that European tour you guys did. What was the stimulus for going overseas?
We had some friends do it, and actually Al Holliday went. The guy, his band went, I think, a couple of times, and some other friends have went over specifically to to Germany and the Netherlands, and they talked about how amazing it was and how great everybody treated them and how well it was received. And we're like, let's look into that. And so we got the booking agent's number that they used, and he immediately was like, you are the type of band that we like. Somebody who's not too big, someone that's relatively unestablished over here, and we bring American bands over here all the time, and you're right up our alley, so come over. And we did, and it was awesome. We've been twice.
Okay.
2 different years, full band, and it was an amazing experience. It was so great. We had some sold-out shows.
Wow.
It was just so wild. They're just really craving this music right now over there.
And it's really, I would say it's an eclectic style because some of it's bluesy and some of it's more, if you want, I don't want to put people in a bucket because you guys are all over the place, which is nice.
Yeah, I feel like I've always been that way, and that's the way all my records are probably going to be forever, just because, I don't know, it's, in a way that might hurt you in the terms of what a record label might see. I don't really know, but I think it's more just forging your own sound, and I never particularly want to stick to anything because when the songs come, I realize that I don't want to bend them into a certain box. I'm like, they should just blossom, and you write them this way, and then it should be a more soul-sounding song, or it should be a rock song, or this one's country,
right?
And that's just, you should let them live where they are,
right?
You know?
You guys do covers of other songs?
Yeah, we do. Yeah, we do.
And you put your own spin on it?
Yeah, I'm sure. Yeah, with our instrumentation and the way we like to do it, it has our own spin. We cover everything from The Doors to like Hank Williams and Bob Dylan, and we're all over the place. We're in that songwriter genre there still.
So where do you see this evolving to, or where do you want it to evolve to, or are you like content with where you are, or do you want to be known more nationally, more internationally, or?
I think, you don't get into doing this stuff normally unless everybody wants to be known a bit more. Of course, I want to be more successful with the music releasing and touring and have more of an audience. So that is a goal, but it's not the main goal, I guess. It probably should be, but I guess I'm happy making music, and I know that's the main thing that's going to keep my career alive.
Right.
I want to just keep making records like this, putting them on vinyl if I can, and that's one of my life goals, is to go out with 30 albums out there for everybody to listen to after I'm gone.
And you're young enough to do that, too.
I think I could do it. I got the songs. Most of them there's a lot of songs that I need to release now, still, in the coming years. It's great. I just really love it. So I love recording with the band, performing with the band, and writing songs. And so that'll never stop. And that's the most important thing, I think.
So all these songs, do you still have some in your head, or there's some that are like on the back burner that you've played, but they didn't make it to the album?
There's a lot that we play live that we know that is unreleased.
Okay.
Yeah. So they just float around, and one will get replaced by a new one, and then if we don't record it, it just gets lost. But they're not lost forever. They're still there. So.
And do you ever change them a little bit? Maybe
the songs
maybe
themselves?
Maybe the lyrics will change a little bit, maybe some chord progressions, or how the band members are handling a certain portion of the song, or something like that?
Yeah, so the band really helps out with that. Evolves. A song will evolve. I usually bring a song in to the band completed, and the chords, the general structure is all there. The music's there, but for 6 people to play it, it has to be arranged. And we all take part in that. Everybody, we just learn the core of the song, and we're able to play it. And to be quite honest, I'm always excited when that happens. I come in with a new song, and everybody learns it, and the first couple run-throughs, I'm like, this sounds good, you guys. And they're like, no. They're like, this sounds horrible. And I'm like, I'm excited.
Because you heard it in your head.
And they're playing it, and I'm like, this is amazing. And they're like, no, we got a lot of stuff to like change about this, and I got to figure out my part here.
Yeah.
And then that happens, and everybody settles in somewhere and has ideas like, oh, maybe we should do this stop here. Maybe we should cut this instrumental. Maybe we should change the chord here. Maybe, everybody has an idea. And then after maybe a month or so of rehearsing a song, we usually are able to dial it in. Yeah.
That's the beauty of working with really good musicians, is that they bring their portion of the puzzle to make the whole puzzle fit together. And they're obviously the bass player, that's not the main thing, or the drummers, it's not the main thing, or the keyboards, it's not the main thing. It's everything is the main thing.
Yeah.
And is what they bring to the table. And your song is like the support. I like to do puzzles. So if you have a table, like that's the song, and then everybody puts their piece of their puzzle onto that, and then now we can put a puzzle together. Yeah. Otherwise, they're putting a piece of puzzle onto air, and it won't support itself. So it's really great that you have wonderful musicians to work with that.
I'm so grateful to have everybody in the band. It's truly a blessing. It's just so great. And this album, is a good example of that. Like, this is really our sound.
Mm-hmm.
We didn't bring any outside players in here, other than Maddie Shell sang some backup vocals on 3 songs.
Right.
And she played some tambourine, too, which kicked it up a notch. It was really cool. But that's it. So this is exactly what we sound like. And this album, if I would have just went into the studio with other musicians, not a group of guys that works together all the time,
Mm-hmm.
it would sound completely different and not have this cohesion, I don't think. We're all really proud of how it turned out.
Yeah, and it's the more
raw, it's live, and it's us. So.
the more you guys work together, the more you know, and you can anticipate that somebody's going to be doing that, so I'm going to have to do this here. Or you don't even have to. It's a non-communicative verbally. It's more of a musical communication. I know where he's going to go with this, so I'm going here with this.
It's crazy how that happened.
It is. It is.
Really, and we see it on stage all the time. It happened at a show the other day, or at practice the other day. Someone does something, and it's like millisecond that you analyze it, and you naturally catch on to what they're doing, and then it changes what you do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or you're just not playing your part. You're listening so you can accompany the other parts. You know?
Yeah, you're always trying to accompany each other. At rehearsal the other day, it was just a good example. Like Jeremy, I think he was goofing around, and he changed the ending of a song to be these really staccato hits and stops. And I didn't even think, but somehow I caught on even on the first hit because he hit it different. And then the stop came, and maybe I was a millisecond behind, but I was right with him.
Wow.
But he didn't tell me. But it's just I know what he sounds like when he plays, so I caught on immediately, and it was just kind of wild. I was like, dang, it's like we're locked in here. So
That's great to see your evolution of not only your personal talent of writing and guitar playing, but how that grows within a group and how the maturity in a group can grow of the sound. And then that really refines who you guys are as a group.
It is really interesting. I've never experienced it. I've experienced it now,
right,
but
right.
never before. I never really evolved with a group of guys, and what I think is created our own sound. I think it's really getting there. It's finally gotten there, and I think it's still evolving, and it's going to get there further. And that's the reason why I put the album cover there with a big St. Louis on it. I just really think that I think that our sound is very St. Louis.
Mm-hmm.
It's become really St. Louis,
Mm-hmm.
and I wanted to make sure that was known on the cover.
Yeah, so I'm looking at the cover right now, and he does have St. Where were you standing in front of that?
That's an old auto parts store that's on the corner of Gravois and Cherokee.
Okay.
It's right there on
Oh,
the
yeah,
corner.
yeah.
And I was driving by it for years, and like I was always like, dang, I just love the lettering on the side of this building. You don't really see, it says St. Louis Auto Parts in full, but you don't really see a good St. Louis stencil like that real big on a building.
No, you don't.
There and looks pretty. And I was like, dang, I just want to take a picture of that one day. And then that was the coldest day of the year this past winter.
It looks like it.
It was, I think, -7 degrees outside or something like that.
It looks like it.
And it was on a Sunday, and half the guys were at work, or a couple of the guys were. And I was like, today's the day. I was like, I told them about I want to get this picture for the album cover for a while. And I bugged them on a Sunday and was like, can you get here and let's take this picture? It's just going to take 30 minutes. And we got it. So.
If that long, because we're all cold.
Yeah, it was freezing.
Want to catch another song here.
I don't know where I'm running to with this empty hand. There's people all around me, but I don't know where to stand. The sound of a broken heart, the sound of a broken heart, the sound of a broken heart is really something to hear.
Now, one thing I notice about your lyrics, personal experience comes into these things, personal life situations. Do you draw from things where you observe other people? I know you.
Oh, yeah.
You were talking. I watched an interview that you did. Maybe it was down in Lafayette Park, and you were talking about the Tokyo Hotel.
Yeah, Benton Park over there.
Okay, Ben Park, yeah.
Yeah, a lot of the songs are a mix. They're often a mix of myself and then other people. I think when the ideas maybe come, sometimes they're maybe probably more specifically me.
Mm-hmm.
But then after thinking about it for a while or putting it on the back burner, other things will come up, and then you'll be able to kind of patchwork this more rich telling of what you want to say.
Gotcha.
And that's what's good. Then it relates to more people, and then some songs will be specifically just me, but I think a lot of times, it's more of like a mixture. Even fantasy comes into play.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
I think it's all important in order to create a good song. If you just were like factual about yourself all the time,
right?
Boy, those would be really boring, mundane, just songs, colorless. But if you include more, and it just gets richer that way.
So when you take these lyrics, some people, I ask this question to musicians that we have come in. Is it the lyrics, then the melody? Is it the melody, then the lyrics? Is this combo together? How do you sit down and you plunk around on the guitar and go, I like that chord progression?
It does always happen differently, but I would say more times than not, the melody comes to me first.
Mm-hmm.
So the music will come to me. Because the music already has a mood, and so if you're always plunking around on the guitar or the piano and creating moods and melodies, depending on what mood you're in, depending on what mindset you're in, you'll have this. I got endless notes of just music in my phone and stuff that I'll take down after I create them, and they all have different feels and vibes, and they all have a different. What you would write to them would be different. So then comes the words usually.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes the words do come first, but mostly it's like this. And then later I'll have time to write an actual song, and I'll look through my notes of music, and I'll be in the mindset of how I want to write, like the mood, and then I'll find the mood of the music, the melody that I like, and then I'll just start writing to that. I'll usually just start playing it, and then words will start coming to my brain as I'm playing it that kind of fit with the mood. And then once I get a couple of words that I like, then I'll maybe look through my notes of lyrics, and I'll find an idea I had, or a snippet of something somebody said, or a few lines of a poem that I was writing or something, and then something usually fits. As long as you're constantly accumulating all these things, you can use them at different times.
Interesting. You play keyboards also?
I play piano.
Okay.
Yeah.
Back from when you were like knee-high to a grasshopper? Or?
No. Piano came... actually, I did get a keyboard for Christmas early on, and I played that thing for sure. So I learned some stuff back then. Then piano fell off for a while, and then I bought a real piano years back. And I've moved it all around since. I got a baby grand, George Steck baby grand piano. And I love playing that thing. And
Good sound.
It's nice. It's old and beat up, but it sounds real cool.
It's a lot easier probably to move than an upright.
The baby grand?
Yeah, you just turn it on its side, get the piano.
I guess. I don't really know. They're all hard to move to me. It looks expensive, too.
Yeah, other than a portable keyboard. Wow. Folks, you got to go see Nick Gusman and the Coyotes. They're going to be at the Rock House, the old Rock House, and that's December the 13th, Friday the 13th. What a great day for a show. 7:30 p.m. Tickets you can get at bandsintown.com, bandsintown.com. Art Holiday, Al Holiday, and the East Side Rhythm Band will also be there. Don't forget Nick's website, Nick Gusman and the Coyotes.com. That's NickGusmandTheCoyotes. And I do that because Nick can be spelled several different ways. I'm sure Gusman can be spelled with two S's and two N's, but it's only one S, one N. And it's not the ampersand and, it's the A-N-D. So that's why I did it like that, folks.
Thank you.
Nick, thanks for coming in. We really appreciate it.
I had such a blast. I hope we can do it again.
I would love to. Please feel free when you guys are going to cut something new, you're going to be going on tour or something. I'd love to be able to come down and talk to all the band members and give them all the dirt that I learned on you.
Let's do it. Yeah, I would love to do that. Yeah, I'll give a quick shout out to the whole band. Mr. Tony Hall on the keys. Thanks, Tony. Jeremy Reedy on the drums. Garrett Ranji on the lead guitar. Sean Camry on the fiddle. And Justin Haltmar on the bass guitar. Thanks, guys. I wish you could be here with me, but next time.
Next time, guys. And we're going to dispense with our normal laughter time and go right to our ending. And, folks, I want to really thank you for joining us and listening to this hour. If you've enjoyed this episode, you can listen to additional shows at stlintune.com. Consider leaving a review on Apple Podcasts, Podchaser, or your preferred podcast platform. Your feedback helps us reach more listeners and continue to grow. I want to thank Bob Berthasell for our theme music. I want to thank our guest, Nick Gusman, and co-host Mark Langston, who will be returning from assignment. We thank you all for being a part of our community of curious minds. St. Louis in Tune is a production of Motif Media Group and the U.S. Radio Network. Remember to keep seeking, keep learning, walk worthy, and let your light shine. For St. Louis in Tune, I'm Arnold Stricker.